Order for Thursday, February the 10th. Roll call. Ms. Jenkins, please.
Excuse me. Ms. Richards?
Present.
Mr. Toller?
Here.
Ms. Abrams?
Here.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Present.
Mr. Duncan?
Here.
Mr. Bush? Mr. Moore? Ms. Simmons?
Here.
Ms. Dominguez?
Present.
All right. Item 1A, consider approval of the low bid to replace the windows and the entrance door, Kentwood High Magnet School's main building. Mr. Schnatterbach, or Mr. Frank?
Yes. We would like to recommend the award of the contract to Vocal McWilliams in the amount of $885,000. The original estimate for the project was $876,000.
Okay, and what was the, I see one that was a no bid or either,
Yeah, they were unable to furnish the attestation affidavit, and so their bid was considered non-responsive, and we went to the next low bidder.
you want to just let the board know what that is, or?
Yeah, so in the attestation affidavit, there's one section that the contractor has to say that he was registered with and participated with the verification system that identified all new hirees as legal citizens of the United States. And without that clause, he's basically violating state statutes, which we talked with our attorney about just to be sure. And his response to us was, in my view, a requirement for a contractor to certify that it is enrolled in a status verification system leads to the obvious conclusion that the legislature intended the contractor to actually be enrolled in the status verification system. Therefore, although not specified in the applicable state statute, the failure of a contractor to be registered and participating in the status verification system at the time of submission of bid would very likely be found by a court of law to render the bid non-responsive. So instead of having a problem of possibly awarding the job to him and the next guy coming up and saying, well, he didn't meet the specifications, he withdrew his bid.
Correct. All right, we'll hear that in form of a motion.
I gladly.
Ms. Richard made the motion, seconded by Mr. Westmoreland. Any questions?
Yeah, this Vocal McWilliams, who have they worked on before in our district? Anybody?
I don't know that they've done any projects prior to me coming here.
I know, that's what I'm wondering. Have we ever had them before?
I don't know.
I don't remember that name, that's why I'm,
Yeah.
okay.
Pierre was actually out 60 days, can attend 2 days. But you have prior experience?
I mean, I have personal experience with their company as a competitor.
Okay.
I used to bid against them a lot. They're a very good firm and have done excellent work on projects. We both have competed on many projects for the Archdiocese of New Orleans, and they have a very good reputation, have been around a long time.
They're from the Mandeville area, right?
From Mandeville area.
Okay.
And the next bidder was $500.
Yeah, I hate to see,
Yeah.
I hate to see Frank lose out over $500, but.
Well,
it
that's
is-
what I was wondering if they were good.
But I
Glad you
am,
had some information about them, thank you.
I'm glad to see the bids are competitive, and I would have been a little leery of the $200,000
Well, we were also.
price difference, but, all right, that in form of a motion and a second. Any other questions? Having none, we'll call for the vote.
Voting is open.
Yes.
Richard said, heck yes.
Yes.
Two yeses.
That's a beautiful building and a beautiful campus, and I'm glad to see that we're investing in maintaining its quality of,
Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
all right. Item B, consider approval of low bid to construct an 8-classroom addition at D.C. Reeves Elementary School. Mr. Frank.
Unfortunately, we only received one bid out of 7 possible bids on this project, and they were substantially higher than the architect's opinion of cost. At this time, we are recommending to reject the bid, revise the plans, and re-advertise.
So moved.
We have that in the
Second.
form of a motion,
Second.
and we have that second. Any questions?
I was wondering why there was not but one bid on here. That's unbelievable. Any reason why they didn't bid? Anybody?
It's, given the current market, it's kind of like contractors can cherry pick which work they go after. And we talked to a couple of them, they just said they were too busy to get to it. But
And
Hopefully, we've also instructed the architects because we have Hammond High coming out for bid and Champ
Champ
Cooper.
Cooper, yeah.
To work the phones with the contractors to make sure that we get competitive bids on those two projects.
And how long is it gonna take for this whole second process?
It's probably gonna take about 2 to 3 weeks to get the plans revised, and then we'll have to re-advertise for 45 days. So it's gonna push it back.
and so, did y'all receive any input from any of these builders as to what sort of changes need to be made to the plans?
We had included in the bid process the new LVT flooring throughout, so that's one item that we're gonna take out and make as an alternate. There's also some masonry that we had in the project that we're gonna take out and make as an alternate to try to get the prices to come down. But also, it's not really comparative, this number to the architect's cost estimate, just having one price.
Right. Okay.
Okay? We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Call for the vote.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, item C, consider approval of low bid to construct a crosswalk and a company sidewalk at the Laranger Middle School Gymnasium. Ms. Simmons.
We don't have any numbers?
I make the motion.
Wait, wait.
And a second.
I'll second the motion. Okay, question on that.
Back up a minute.
There's
My
nothing
name's all
here to vote on.
Mr. Frank.
Unfortunately, I am sorry to report
Uh-oh.
that we were not able to receive bids today, as the contractors were not able to receive pricing on the signage portion of the project. So we have extended the time until Tuesday to
Okay.
receive bids, and at which time we should have them.
All right. So I move that we put this on the agenda of the main board for next week.
Second.
That's what I was gonna say.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to table this or forward this to our board meeting. We have a second by Ms. Simmons. Any other discussion? Any other final words, Mr. Frank? Okay, call for a vote. Sorry, Ms. Sandra. I got
I
excited.
get all excited for no reason, Miss
Closest we've
Sandra.
ever come. There wasn't a thing here to vote on.
7 years.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
All right, item D. Consider approval of low quote to repair Parent Early Learning Center's Title I building. Mr. Frank.
Received bids this afternoon, 2 bids, and we are recommending the award to CT Wainwright Construction in the amount of $99,500. Our original estimate of construction was $102,000.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Westmoreland, seconded by Mr. Minguez. Any reason why we have a $100,000 price difference, or?
And no bids.
In my opinion, I believe it was a complimentary bid.
They didn't really want it. They
They
just
didn't
wanted to
really
bid.
want it.
But
we'll take
there again, we've got all these other people that didn't bid.
But this bid's in accordance with what we expected anyway.
Right, and this is the second time that this was quoted. The first time we didn't get any prices.
Okay, we have a second. We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All right, call for a vote.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, item E, consider approval of low quote for the Independent High Magnet Schools football scoreboard by by Rainey Electronics for the amount of $33,052. Do I hear that in form of a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any questions? Was this something that was damaged during the storm?
Damage to Hurricane Ida. We're replacing as is, with one exception, is we are upgrading from standard lighting to LED lighting.
Good. Any other questions? We're mighty easy tonight. Okay, call for a vote.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Anything else to be brought before capital outlay? Go ahead.
Do we have an update on the Champ Cooper Road traffic study or anything?
You have to come to the microphone, Mr. Frank.
Or turn that microphone on.
I believe the portion, the study is completed, now it is in DOTD review, but I can get a more definite answer for you in the morning.
I was just wondering, because, we're already behind on that one too.
Well, but we went ahead and put the project out for bid, so we're not delaying receiving bids on the project,
Oh, that's great.
because we're pretty certain that whatever work has to be done is going to be outside of the campus that won't affect the project.
And how are we coming, I know they haven't finished all their hurricane repairs yet there. Are they, for the roof and stuff? Is that,
We're in the process of addressing all of the items. We're compiling our list, and actually next week, we're going to be going out to the campuses and prioritizing work to get done, especially work that we can get done ourselves with our maintenance department.
and I know their electric sign that's right there in front of the auditorium has not been working either. It got messed up after the hurricane. So I don't know if that's part
I'll
of,
make a note of that and have our maintenance guy.
yeah, I'm not sure if it's part of how that would fall, where that would fall in funds-wise, but, yeah, okay.
What about
I know-
the Laranja High School athletic facility? Y'all had some issues with the, what was it?
Softball field?
No, the insulation in the ceiling. Did y'all find something?
roof.
Yes, the
ISO
insulation.
board is a hot commodity. We were informed that they would not be able to receive that material until December. So we're going an alternate route, and we're going to put spray foam insulation on the deck underneath the roof, so it won't delay the project.
Okay, great.
That's what I was going to suggest. With all the construction that we have going on, all the information that we can get as a board, I know I appreciate it, and I'm sure the other board members do as well. There is, at one time, we were using like the spreadsheet that we could email, or we could do it at board meetings, however y'all would like to do it. But if we can continue that, or kind of kick that, because we have all these projects from north to south, it would be great to get that. It would be great to get that progress on a monthly basis, so we kind of can keep because I know I get phone calls, when are we doing this, and how's the so the more information we can get, the better. We appreciate it.
I'll get that out to you. If y'all have any questions, please
Yeah.
contact me, and if I don't have the answer for you when you call, I'll get it for you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Frank.
We also have all those softball fields that are trying to replace their backdrops. I mean, how are they working on that? I mean, they're starting to be practicing,
Well, whatever replacement won't happen during the season. During the school year, we'll go through softball season with the backstops. We've inspected them all. Our maintenance has made repairs. Like at Ponchatoula High, we repaired some that
Okay.
the poles were leaning. There was some uprooting, and we've removed the safety hazards.
Okay.
The backstops would be a project that principals could use their small capital project funds to decide they want to replace that and go ahead and do that. Build a concrete wall and put the netting up and do that all as one project, yes.
And I'd really like an update on, when you get it, about the Ponchatoula Athletic Park and our baseball team.
Yes.
I mean, we haven't got an update on, is the city gonna repair it, are we gonna repair it? I'd like to know something about that.
Yeah, I can reach out to Mr. Zabia and find out, just so the board will know, Ponchatoula High will play their baseball season at Reimers Field. We've entered into an MOU with the city of Hammond. We've made some changes, some upgrades to the lighting, to make the lighting available, and some dugout improvements and field improvements so we can play there. But the permanent field athletic park in Ponchatoula has been totally demolished. It's not usable. I'm not sure what the plan is for the city to, moving forward with that facility.
Well, whenever you can get an update, I'd appreciate it.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
then what about the roof at Ponchatoula? What's the update on that?
I'm gonna turn that one to Mr. Frank.
Yeah. It was fixed and not fixed.
With the rain event that happened last Thursday, the biggest leak at the cafeteria was at the exhaust fans. And with the amount of rain that fell, and I guess without having a diagram to show you, the back side of the curb acts as a dam. And all that water coming down the roof, and when those fans turn on, they create negative pressure, which just kind of sucks the water in. So I've directed the architect to draw up some plans to put crickets behind those vents that will shed the water away from there, so we won't have that problem. Some of the other issues was around some of the small vents. They didn't put the ice and water shield that they were supposed to install, so they're going back and checking all of the vents to make sure that that's been installed. And we did have some a little bit lifting up, because with the cold weather, the shingles aren't sealing yet. I mean, you gotta get it pretty warm for that to set and settle. So with the coolness of the weather, they haven't always sealed. So you had some places where it just kind of flapped up a little bit and water got in.
How long you think that's gonna take
To,
for the architect to draw and us to?
we'll probably have those drawings by the end of the week, end of next week, and then get it out to the contractor for them to install.
And then the other vents, though, they're already being.
They're checking those right now, so those should be checked by tomorrow, because they've been working on, we've had some good weather to get out there and be able to address those.
So basically, the issues were, it wasn't the shingles that had just recently been pushed, it was leaking in vents. And just to clarify, the whole cafeteria ceiling did not fall in, right?
No ma'am, no ma'am.
I mean, everybody on Facebook and all these social media, you know, saying our ceiling in the cafeteria fell in, and I'm like, no, the ceiling didn't fall in, so,
It was confined to an area, I'd say probably 12 feet by 4 feet around the hoods where the fans are.
so basically in the kitchen area, not even where the kids were sitting.
They had some leaks, and they had some tiles out where the kids sit, but the biggest
The smaller
area,
ones,
that
yeah.
was just ceiling tile, and nothing hanging down that would have been dangerous to the students.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
It was a lot of water
It was a
in
lot
a
of
short
water.
amount of
I mean,
time.
Yeah, it was a
just
lot.
driving there, the amount of water that was on the roads, flooded, and in front of the school, they took
pretty
on
bad.
a lot of water last Thursday.
Anything else we brought before, Cap?
Yeah, what about Neeson's roof? When are they,
Actually, Gasway Bankston is working on that, and we may be able to put that out for bid next week.
okay, because it's been white for a long time.
Yeah, I've passed by there a few times, and it's still with the tar, or whatever, those things.
So you say the bids are going to go out
We'll put out for quote next week, yes.
next week, okay?
Probably be something you'll be addressing at your March capital outlay committee meeting.
Okay.
Anything else? Hearing none, meeting adjourned. Thank you.